Hello everyone, today I'll be solving the statistics quiz for week 7. Okay, so starting up with question number 1, part A. They gave you 8 numbers in this data set and they want you to find the mean. Now I think we all know how to find the mean, but in case you don't, here is the formula that you're supposed to use. So it's m is equal to 1 over n summation of x. That basically just means that you add all of these numbers together and then you divide them by 8 because there are 8 numbers. So you're going to grab your calculator and you're going to do 15 plus 17 plus 20 plus 29 plus 30 plus 32 plus 34 plus 35 over 8. And you should get an answer of 26.5. Now, for the median, the first thing, if they ever ask you for median, the first thing you always have to do is look at the numbers and see if they're arranged. They can either be arranged from smallest to greatest or greatest to smallest. It doesn't really matter, as long as they're arranged in the proper order. So if you look at this data set, you can see that they're arranged in the proper order. So you can start by just like crossing them out from each side. So you're going to cross out 15 and 35, 17 and 34, 20 and 32. Now, the problem is that you have 8 values. So that means that you're going to get 2 middle numbers. Okay? Now, there's 2 ways to find the median. The median is always the middle, like the very middle number. But here you have 2 middle numbers. So the median would be the middle number that's in between of those 2 middle numbers. So here's what I mean. If 29 and 30 are your middle numbers, you can assume that your median would be 29.5 because in between 29 and 30 is just 29.5. Now, if you had another example where your 2 middle numbers are very far apart and you can't guess what your median is, all you have to do is just grab your calculator. You do 29 plus 30 and divide that by 2, and you get an answer of 29.5. And that's your median. Okay? Now, something you always have to know is that if your mean, okay, if your mean is greater than your median, just memorize that, okay? It's right skewed. Okay? But if it's vice versa, so if your median is greater than your mean, it's left skewed. So mean greater than median, right skewed, mean less than median, left skewed, and if they're both equal, that means you have symmetric. Okay? And this should be something you memorize very well because it's very important that you remember it so you can solve quickly in all of these questions. Okay? So for part C, a stem and leaf diagram with a class interval width of 10 constructed from the given data shows that the distribution is left skewed. This supports the observation that the mean of the data is smaller than the median. Now, in the computer part, this is very easy to solve if you have them memorized. So, from what I told you to memorize, the mean is smaller than the median. So then you automatically know it's left skewed and you can fill in the answers. But if this was in a written part and they told you to construct a stem and leaf diagram, then you have to construct a stem and leaf diagram to prove your point. Okay? So you're gonna do stem, okay, and then leaf. And then you're just gonna arrange, okay, you have 1, and then 5 and 7, 2, 0 and 9, 3, 0, 2, 4, and 5. Now, if they were to ask you, for example, in a written part to construct a stem and leaf, and from the stem and leaf that you have constructed to find the median and the mean, and to find out if it's left skewed, right skewed, or symmetric, then here's what you're gonna do, okay? To find the mean, it's just the same way as using the table. So you're gonna add all of these together, okay? 15, 17, 20, 29, 30, 32, 34, and 35, divide them by 8. It's the same process. For the median, here is how you do it. So, whenever you want to find the median from a stem and leaf diagram, the first step you're going to do is you're going to find the term where you can find the median in. Like, for example, this 5 over here, which is considered 15, is the first term. 7, which is considered 17, is the second. 20 is the third. 29 is the fourth, and so on and so on. So, if you're given a stem and leaf and you want to find the median, first thing you have to do is find the term. Okay? And to find the term, all you gotta do is you take the number or the amount of values there are, in this case 8 values, okay? And then you add 1 and divide it by 2, okay? So that means that your term is the 4.5th term, okay? That's not your median, that's your term. Now, here's what you're gonna do. Since your term is the 4.5th term, that means your median is not going to be in 4, it's not going to be in 5, it's going to be in the middle. So we're going to count, okay? This is your first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Now, your median is somewhere in between this fourth one and this fifth one. We know the fourth term is 29, okay? It's not only 9, it's 29. The fifth term is 30, okay? So the 4.5th term is something in between. Now you can once again just do 29 plus 30 over 2, and you get 29.5. Or you can just assume, which is easy in this case because the numbers are close, and you'll get the same answer, 29.5. Now, in part C, once again, your median is greater than your mean, or in other way, your mean is less than your median. So you can say it's left skewed. And this supports the observation that the mean is less than or smaller than the median. Okay. Moving on to question number 2. They gave you another data set. They asked for the mean and median, and they asked once again for a stem and leaf plot. Okay? Now this data set consists of 11 values, okay? So we're going to start the traditional way of finding the mean and the median without a stem and leaf, okay? Now for the mean, once again, the formula is 1 over n summation of x. So just add all of these values, divide them by 11 because there are 11 values. So you're going to take your calculator, 27 plus 24 plus 19 plus 34 plus 26 plus 39 plus 23 plus 14 plus 28 plus 29 plus 23. Divide all that by 11. You'll get an answer of 26. And that is your mean. Now, for the median, once again, always, if they ask for median, first thing you think of, arrange. Now, the numbers here, you can see that they're not arranged because you have 27, 24, 19, and then 34, which doesn't make sense because it was decreasing and now it's just suddenly increasing. So, you're going to take these numbers and you're going to arrange them in order, and then after that, you can start crossing out. So the smallest number here is 14. Let me just pick a different color so it can show. Okay, here we go. So 14. And then there is 19. Okay. And 23 and 23. Okay. So two 23s. Okay. And then there is a 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, 24, 26, 27, 28, and 29. Then finally you have 34 and 39. Okay, here we go. Now just to confirm, I'm going to recount my numbers in case I missed anything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we're all good. Now you can start by canceling out from each side. So 39 and 14, 34 and 19, 29 and 23, 28 and 23, 27 and 24, and your median will be 26 because that's the only number left. Okay? So that is correct. Your median is 26. Now, once again, a stem and leaf plot with class intervals of width 10 shows that the data distribution is symmetrical, indicating that the mean is equal to the median. Now, if this is a computer part, which in this case it is because it's an AMS, you can automatically solve without drawing a stem and leaf plot. Just look at the mean and the median. They're equal, so you can automatically tell they're symmetrical. If it was a written part, on the other hand, you would have to draw a stem and leaf and solve using that way. Okay? So we're just going to draw a stem and leaf. Okay? So for 1, we got 4 and 9. For 2, we got 3, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. And for 3, there's 4 and 9. Once again, just count in case. You always have to revise your answers because it's very easy to miss a number and that can just ruin the entire process. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, see, I missed a number here now. What did I miss? I missed 4, 24. So there's a 4 here. Okay? So that's why you always have to revise. So now, you've got them all ordered in a stem and leaf plot. The mean is just the same way that you found. You just add all of them together, divide them by the amount of values there are, which are 11. Okay? Now the median. Since you have 11 values, okay, you're going to try to find the term where you can find this median. So you're going to take 11, you're going to add 1, then divide by 2. So 11 plus 1 divided by 2, you get 6. 6 is not your median. 6 is the term where you will find your median. So you start by counting. First term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term, and then this is your sixth term, which is 26, and that is correct. Okay? So, indicating the mean is equal to the median, so symmetrical. Now for question number 3, they gave us the stem and leaf plot, which is very good. And they're asking for the mean, okay? And they gave you 19 values, okay? So you're going to take your calculator. And by the way, make sure to look at the key because it's really important. Because if you don't look at it, it might not be 2 and then the bar 3 means 23. It can be, for example, I'm not sure, like 0 and 2, 3 is 0.23. Something like that. Like you never know what it's going to be like. So always look at the key. Okay? So you're going to start by adding. So 22 plus 23 plus 24 plus 27 plus 30 plus 32 plus 32 plus 33 plus 35 plus 35 plus 39 plus 41 plus 44 plus 44 plus 45 plus 48 plus 52 plus 55 and finally plus 61. Divide that all by 19, okay, and you get, I got 37.8, which is basically rounded up 38, okay? So wait, actually I have done a mistake again, so yeah, I added 2 24s, my bad guys, okay, so 22, 23, 24, 27, okay, 30, 32, 32, 33, 35, 35, 39, 41, 44, 44, 45, 48, 52, 55, 61. Now if you get a decimal, then you can start to like suspect that you've done something wrong, so watch out. Yeah, okay, I've redone it and it's 38 exactly. So just watch out with the numbers, okay? So once you have added all of these, divided them by 19, and you get an answer of 38, you know your answer is correct because that is the mean, okay? So now, the median, okay, they gave you the stem and leaf plot, and you know you have 19 values. So, using these 19 values, you can find out which term the median will be in. Okay, the median will be in a certain term, which can be found using the amount of values. So, 19, okay, whenever you want to find the term, you add 1 and divide it by 2. Okay, so 19 plus 1 divided by 2, you get 10. That means your median is in the 10th term. So let me just zoom in here so it's easier to count. We start by counting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So your median is 35. Okay? And that is the correct answer. Now, the given stem and leaf diagram reveals that the distribution is right skewed. Now, the reason why it's right skewed is because your mean, which is 38, is greater than your median, which is 35. Okay? And then this supports the observation that the mean of the data is greater than the median, which is what we just said. Okay. Now, moving on to question number 4. Boys and 5 girls, so a total of 15 teenagers. The average height, so the mean, of the boys is 172 centimeters. And then out of the 5 girls, 4 of the girls have 165, 176, 160, and 168 centimeters. So then after that, they tell you the mean, the average height is the mean, okay? If anything's average, it's the mean. So the mean of all 15 teenagers is 170.2. Now, the first thing you can start with is write the full equation and substitute what you know into it. So you know that mean, okay, is equal to 1 over n summation of x. Okay? Another way you can put it, okay, it's a better way. Just do summation of x over, okay, n. Summation of x would be the total heights added together. N would be the amount, okay, the amount of people, like for example, 10 boys, so 10 would be the N. 5 girls, 5 would be the N. 15 teenagers, 15 would be the N. And then the mean is just the average height in this case, okay? So they gave you the average height of all 15 teenagers is 170.2. So here's what you can do. You can substitute that here. 170.2 is equal to summation of x. Now, instead of putting summation of x, you can sort of put the total height, okay, of girls plus the total height of boys, right? Because summation of x is just the complete total height, boys and girls. So, somewhat of a way to split it will make it easier for you to solve, okay? So, over, you know there's 15 teenagers in total, so n is your 15. Okay, now, so here's how your equation looks like. But the thing is, you have 2 missing variables. You have total height of girls and total height of boys. Now, total height of boys in this case would be easier to find because they gave us the mean of the boys and they gave us the number of boys. So we'll just work with total height of boys for now and leave total height of girls till the end. Okay? So, total height of boys can be found by multiplying the mean with the number of boys. Now let me show you how you can do it. If your equation looks something like this, if you put it in one of those calculation triangles, it's going to look something like this, right? Here's your mean, okay, and the number, okay? It's going to look something like this. If total height of boys is your summation of x, so this is total height of boys, okay? Then you can find it using the mean of the boys, which is 172 in this case, okay? Here, 172. So mean would be 172. And the number of boys is given, it's 10. Okay, there are 10 boys, so this is 10. So simply, all you have to do to find the total height of the boys is multiply 172 with 10, Now you can either do that mentally, you get 1720, or just use a calculator in case, and you also get 1720. Okay, so now instead of just putting total height of boys into the equation, you can put 1720, okay, and then this was over 15. Now we can start by finding the total height of girls, which will lead us to the height of the fifth girl, okay? So if, once again, you kind of relocate the equation into one of those calculation triangles, you're going to find that 170.2 times 15, okay, will give you the total height of girls plus the total height of boys, okay? So just try it. 170.2, okay, times 15, you will get 2,553, okay? Now that means that 2,553 is the total height of girls plus the total height of boys, which is, sorry, I forgot the one here, 1,720. Now, simply, you can just subtract 1,720 from 2,553 to get the total height of girls. So, 2,553 minus 1,720, and you get the total height of girls is equal to 833. Now we're not done yet. They want the height of the fifth girl, okay? We already have the height of 4 of the 5 girls, and we know that 833 is the total of the 5 girls. So if you rewrite this equation, so you get 833 is equal to x, which is the height of the fifth girl, which is what we want to find, plus 165, which is one of the heights of the girls, plus 176, okay? This is all from the given, by the way. Plus 160, plus 168, okay? Now just add 165, 176, 160, and 168. So 165 plus 176 plus 160 plus 168. You're going to get 669, okay? So then your equation would be 833 is equal to x plus 669. So just simply do 833 minus 669, and you'll get an answer of 164, which is correct. Okay? Now, moving on to the next question. Question number 5. Okay, it's taking its sweet time to load. By the way, guys, make sure to revise your answers really well, because one small mistake can ruin your entire progress. So just be careful when you're solving, and just go over your answers at the end of your exam if you have time. Okay, here we go. Question number 5. So mean mass, so that means your mean. The mean of 6 green apples is 97 grams, and the mean of 9 red apples is 87 grams, and they want the mean of the 6 green apples and the 9 red apples together. Okay? So remember the calculation triangle that we made, okay? Summation of x, and then here's m, which is mean, and n, which is the number, okay? Or you can call it frequency, whatever you like, okay? So, the mean mass of the 6 green apples, okay, let's start with the green apples, okay? So, this is 6, sorry, the mean mass, mean mass is 97, and then there are 6 green apples, so 6 is your number of apples, and you want to find the total. So, you do 6 times 97, and you'll end up with 582, okay? So, that means your total number of green apples, okay, is 582. Now just remember it this way. If, for example, your average weight or your average mass is 97 and you have 6 apples, okay? So that means all of these 6 apples divided by all of these 6 apples added together divided by 6, okay, will give you 97. So just try to relocate the equation and try to see how you'll get the total number of apples, okay? And you end up with 582. Now for question number 5, they told you the mean mass of the 6 green apples in the box is 97 grams, while the mean mass of the 9 red apples is 87 grams. And for part A, they're asking for the mean mass of the total, or like the green apples plus the red apples. Now to find the total mean mass, you're gonna have to find the total number of apples or the total weight of apples added together. Okay? So let me just rewrite this calculation triangle real quick to explain it in a better way. Okay? Here we go. So they want, okay, the mean mass of all the apples. Okay? So green plus red. And we know, okay, that there are 6 green apples and 9 red apples, so 15 apples in total. Now, to get to the mean mass, which is green plus red, we have to find the total mass. So, from the 6 green apples, we have to find all of them added together, their masses added together. And from the 9 red apples, we have to find their masses added together. Now, the way to do this is to find the total mass of the 6 green apples, and then find the total mass of the red apples, add them together, and then to find the total mean, you're going to divide the answer that you get by 15. Okay? I'll try not to confuse you as much because I feel like if I talk a lot, it's just going to get confusing. So we're going to solve now. So let me just draw it at the top. X, sorry for the interesting looking drawing. Okay? So you want to find the total. Let's start with green apples. Okay? You want to find the total mass of the 6 green apples. So this is X. And then the mean is 97. The number of apples there are, or the frequency if you want to call it, is 6. So simply to find the total mass of the apples, you do 97 times 6, and you get an answer of 582. Now, you do the same with the red apples, okay? So let me just erase this real quick. Instead of 97 and 6, you're gonna have, okay, here, it's over here, 87 and 9, okay? So you're gonna do 87 times 9, you're gonna get 783. Okay, now that we found the total mass of the red apples and the total mass of the green apples, we can find the mean mass of the total apples, or all the apples added together, by adding these two numbers over here and then dividing their final answer by 15, because there's a total of 15 apples, okay? Not 15 apples, but like the 6 green apples and the 9 red apples, they make like a total of 15 apples, okay? So 582 plus 783, okay? So you're gonna get 1,365. Now to find the mean mass of the green apples plus the red apples, you're gonna divide this number over here by 15. You will get an answer of 91, okay? Now, given that the mean mass of the apples decreases by 1 gram, so that means it's no longer 91, it's 90, okay? When an additional apple is added to the box, so you no longer have 15 apples, you have 16 apples. Okay? This apple weighs 75 grams. Okay. So using the things or the values that we now have, you can rewrite your equation. Okay? So they told you, let's just rewrite it here. So alpha x m n. So we found out that there's an extra apple and now there's 16 apples. We know that the mean is now, they told you the mean mass of the apples decreases by 1 gram. So instead of 91 grams, it's going to be 90 grams. So to find the additional apple's weight or the additional apple's mass, all you got to do is find the total, okay? Find the total weight of the apples and then subtract from the original weight that we have, okay? So the original weight of apples that we had was 1,365, okay? Those were the total weight of the 15 apples. Now, using the mean and the number of apples there are, we can find the total weight, subtract it from this number over here, and you'll get the weight of the additional apple, okay? So you do 90 times 16. Yeah, 90 times 16, because there's a total of 16 apples in the box. Now that they've added an additional one, you will get an answer of 1,440. Okay? This is with the additional apple. This number over here, okay, is with the additional apple. This number is without the additional apple. So then to find the weight, okay, or the mass of the additional apple, you're simply going to do 1,440 minus 1,365, you get an answer of 75. Okay? Now for question number 6. Part A, they're asking for the mean weight. Whenever they ask for mean weight, we use the formula 1 over n summation of x. Okay? So simply you would just take all these values, add them together, divide them by 10, because they told you there are 10 bags of fertilizers, okay? And if you count these, you're going to find that there are 10 values, okay? So 17 plus 19 plus 7 plus 22 plus 14 plus 18 plus 20 plus 19 plus 19 plus 14 over, okay, over 10, you get 16.9, which is correct, okay? Now the median weight, okay? So they're asking for the median. So once again, you're going to have to look at the values. Are they arranged or not? You can look at them and you're going to see that they're not arranged, okay? So you're going to have to arrange them first and then you start crossing out. So 7, okay? And then there are 2 14s. 7, 14, 14, okay? And then the next value is 17, and then 18 and 3 19s, 19 and 19, okay? And then 20 and 22, and then I'll just count them in case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, okay? Now you can start by crossing out. So 22 and 7, 20 and 14, 19 and 14, 19 and 17. You're left with 18 and 19. So just take your calculator, or you can just assume that the number between them is going to be 18.5. If not, just take your calculator, 18 plus 19, divide the answer, okay, by 2. You get 18.5, which is your median. Okay? Now, if the bag with 7 kg of fertilizer is excluded, the mean weight and the median weight. Okay. So all they're telling you is that the bag of 7 kg, so this 7 over here is no longer there. So now all you gotta do, just redo everything we did in part A, but without the 7. Okay? So instead of adding 7 into the equation, you're gonna do 17 plus 19 without 7, okay? So 17 plus 19 plus 22 plus 14 plus 18 plus 20 plus 19 plus 19 plus 14. Now that they've removed 7, okay, we've removed a number. Before there were 10 numbers, we've removed a number. So now there are 9 numbers. So we divide it by 9, not 10. Okay? So you get 18 as your mean. Okay? Now, once again, you have to arrange, okay? But instead of starting with 7, you're going to start with 14. So 14 and 14, 17, 18, 3 19s. Okay? And then 20, 22, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yes, that's correct. Now you can start canceling out. So 22 and 14, 20 and 14, 19, 17, 19, 18. You're left with 19. So that is your median, which is correct. Okay. Now for part C, when the bag with 7 kilograms of fertilizer is excluded, the mean weight is affected more than the median. Okay? If you look over here, first of all, look at the mean weight with the 7 kg bag and look at the mean weight without the 7 kg bag. The mean weight with the 7 kg bag is 16.9, but the mean weight without is 18. Okay? If you put that on your calculator, so 18 minus 16.9, you're going to get an answer of 1.1. So that means there's a whole difference of 1.1 kg in your answer. So between removing the 7 kg, that means you've lost 1.1 kg in your answer for the mean. Now, if you do the same thing, but with the median, so median weight is 18.5, your median weight is 19, just do 19 minus 18.5, you get 0.5. So the difference of excluding 7 kg was only 0.5 kg for your median. Okay? What does that mean? That means that your mean was affected more. Because when you remove the 7 kilograms, you've removed 1.1 kilograms from your total answer of the mean. But when you remove 7 kilograms, you've removed only 0.5 kilograms from your total answer of the median. So that means your mean was affected more than your median. Okay? So for part C, when the bag with 7 kg of fertilizer is excluded, the mean weight is affected more than the median. Now for question number 7. Okay? So over here, they gave you time and they gave you frequency. Now we have a new formula for mean. So for mean, instead of summation of x, you're just going to have 1 over n, okay? N in this case is the total frequency, okay? Summation of xi. Xi is considered the midpoint. So for example, 10 to 12, the midpoint is 11, right? Because if you do it on your calculator, 10 plus 12 divided by 2, okay, you're going to get an answer of 11. Or for example, 13 and 16. 13 plus 16, okay, divided by 2, you get 14.5. So that means your midpoint here is 14.5. So that's your xi, okay? So using this time, you're going to use the formula 1 over n, summation xi, okay, and then f of this xi. So here's how it's going to look like. Okay, just simplify the equation. So summation of xi, let's call it fi for example, over n. So here's what you're going to do. We know the midpoint of 10 to 12 is 11. 13 to 16 is 14.5. Okay, and then just keep going until you get to the final value. Let me just zoom out here. Okay, here we go. So 11, 14.5, okay, then you do 17 plus 20, divide that by 2, you get an answer of 18.5, so this is 18.5, And then 21 plus 23 divided by 2, 22. 24 plus 27, okay, divide that by 2, you get 25.5. And then the last one's just 29. You can do it on your calculator as well in case you want to check. Okay, so these over here are your midpoints, those values. Now, let me just write the equation once again. Xi fi over n. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to do 11, so the midpoint, times its frequency, plus 14.5 times 7, okay? Because 14.5 has a frequency of 7, okay? And then 18.5 times 24, plus 22 times 27, plus 22 times 17, plus 25.5 times 5, plus 29 times 4, okay? Now, just dot 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 over here, but like write it on your calculator, okay? So let's start. 11 times 3 plus 14.5 times 7 plus 18.5 times 24, okay, plus 22 times 17 plus 25.5 times 5 plus 29 times 4. All of that, okay, that entire answer divided by the total frequency is, what's the total frequency? Let me just move back. 60 runners, okay, so that means your total frequency is 60. So you're going to divide that answer by 60, and you get an answer of 19.9, okay? Now, that's normal that you're going to get a decimal. Actually, it's 19.9333 continued. It's normal that you're going to get a decimal because some of your midpoints are decimals, okay? Plus, they told you round it to the nearest whole number, okay? 19.9 is just 20, okay? So now, if they ask for median, in this case, where they give you time and they give you frequency, you have to first find the cumulative frequency, okay? So the cumulative frequency is basically just you start at 3 over here, and then you add 7. So then you get 10. Add 24, you get 34. Add 17. And you keep doing that until you get all your values, okay? So 34 plus 17, so 51. Add 5, 56, and then finally add 4, you get 60, okay? And how do you know that your cumulative frequency values are correct? The last cumulative frequency value is always equal to the total frequency, which is 60, so we know that our values are correct, okay? Now, the median, to find the median, you find the midpoint, right? Or the middle term. So then what do? Use the same method that we used for the stem and leaf plot. You take your total frequency, which is 60, add 1, divide by 2. So that means your median is going to be in the 30th.5th term. Now over here, you can't really count until the 30th.5th term. But you look at your cumulative frequency. You have 3, 10, 34, 51, 56, and 60. 30.5 is in between of 10 and 34. It's not greater than 34, it's not less than 10, okay? But it doesn't make sense to put it in the 10, okay? Let me just make arrows over here. So this is 3, this is 10, this is 34, 51, 56, and 60. Now 30.5, you can kind of consider it in the 34 sector, okay? Because it's greater than 10, but it's less than 34. So it's in the 34 sector, okay? So what does that mean? If it's in the 34 sector, that means your median class interval, or the median value for your class interval, is 17 to 20, okay? Which in this case is 16.5 to 20.5. Now the reason why I didn't do subtract 0.5 and add 0.5, it's because you're finding the change in this time. You're not finding like the exact time. So you don't really need to remove 0.5 and add 0.5. Okay? So it's 17 to 20, and the only numbers that match are 16.5 to 20.5. Okay? So now, final question. Question number 8. Okay? A social worker conducted a survey of 200 households. Okay? So that means 200 is your total frequency. And they're asking for the mean of this distribution that they gave you. Okay? So they didn't give you time intervals. They gave you the exact values. So all you gotta do now, okay, is multiply these and add them together and then divide by 200. So you're gonna do, take your calculator, you're gonna do 1 times 20, okay, plus 2 times 30, plus 3 times 55, plus 4 times 35, plus 5 times 30, plus 6 times 30. Divide all that by 200, and you get 3.575, rounded to the nearest whole number is then 4. Okay? So now, your mean is 4. Now for the median, if your frequency is 200, you want to find the term for the median, you do 200 plus 1, okay, divide that by 2. So you know that your median is going to be in the 100.5th term. Now to find this term, you're going to have to find the cumulative frequency first. So you start at 20, add 30, you're at 50, add 55, okay, 105, add 35, 140, add 30, you're at 170, add 30, and then you end up with 200. Okay, so from finding the term of the median, which is the 100.5th term, okay, let me just draw arrows here. Okay, you can see that it fits in the 105. Why? Because it's not greater than 105. Sorry, yeah, it's not greater than 105, but it's not less than 50. Okay? It's kind of in between them. It's from 50 to 105. So you can kind of consider it in the 105th sector. Okay? So since 100.5 is in the 105th sector, you look at, I'm not sure what this is, wait. You look at the number of members over here, okay? This is the number of members. And since this was 105 and your 100.5th term was in the 105 sector, that means the number of members is 3, which is the correct answer. And that's it. So guys, just make sure to revise your answers properly and you're going to be good for the exam.